In an effort to save thousands of lives a year from high blood pressure, the Food and Drug Administration wants food manufacturers and restaurants to voluntarily cut salt that they add to food by a third over the next decade. ABC 7's Alex Redmond joins us with the challenges of cutting back on sodium. Alex.
Thanks, Haley. This voluntary guidance aims to help Americans achieve the dietary guidelines recommended sodium levels by encouraging food manufacturers, restaurants, and food service operations to reduce sodium in the foods.
The Portobello Volcano is low sodium. It's made with a quinoa and spinach layer.
It's getting easier to find the healthy choice here on the Suncoast.
I'm getting the California wrap.
Ashley Fuller says she's concerned about salt intake.
I prefer things unsalted, and then I add what I want to my taste.
Emily Kodalka ordered a salad.
I like to think that I'm a healthy eater, and I like to eat things that are good for me.
Kodalka doesn't add salt.
No, I never do. I only use pepper.
Veg offers many low-salt dishes, says owner Mindy Hassett.
We try not to add salt to the dishes in the kitchen. Our soups are low salt. Our vegetarian dishes are low salt.
Many people are now aware that there are health concerns about taking in too much sodium, but there are healthier choices and ways to avoid it in your diet.
It's not hard to avoid getting too much salt in your diet if you eat basic foods that are unprocessed. If you stick more with fruits and vegetables, they're all very low in sodium.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services finds 75% of sodium intake comes from processed and prepared foods, not the salt shaker. And 50% of every dollar spent on food is consumed outside the house.
Frozen entrees instead of having a regular home-prepared meal. Also, having fast food meals would have a lot of sodium, or any restaurant meal.
According to the FDA, average sodium intake in the U.S. is approximately 3,400 milligrams per day. The 2015-2020 Dietary Guidelines for Americans and Healthy People 2020 advise people to consume less than or equal to 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day.
The first thing you can do is taste your foods before you add salt to it. That way you can not get extra sodium, and you'll eventually learn to like the foods without the salt.
The guidelines set 2- and 10-year goals, and officials stress many companies have met or are working toward the 2-year goals. FDA officials say these guidelines will help cut more than 1,000 milligrams of sodium a day from the U.S. diet.
And Alex, we know processed foods are not ideal, but is it realistic to say that people can totally give up these foods, like, say, deli meats?
Absolutely, because if you go to the supermarket now, you can find things like low sodium, but not only low sodium, Haley, but you can also find things like Boar's Head has a product now that is absolutely no sodium.
Wow.
So you can get a no sodium turkey breast, and that is so healthy for you. And of course, the thing to remember is don't buy things that are in boxes, plastic bags, and packages if you can help avoid it.
Easier said than done,
Sure.
but it's definitely a goal to work toward. All right, thank you, Alex.